Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Ego on Break. Again, it's Jay Andrews and
Logan Creed,
and it's our wrestling adventures. We did this a while back when we reviewed a Ring of Honor DVD that we had been to. We actually had been to the filming of it.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Today we're going to basically review The Era of Honor Begins. Not necessarily review as much as talk about what we remember from watching it.
It was 15 years ago. So
yeah. Well, they got their anniversary coming up, the 15th year anniversary, and so we'll give our thoughts on that card as well. But Ring of Honor is essentially what brought us together as friends. In a weird way, I really didn't know that much about independent wrestling other than what I would read in the magazines or whatever. Discovered NWA Battlezone, met you, and through there I found Ring of Honor.
TNA
so,
at the time.
Yeah, early TNA, that kind of stuff. So I guess our friend is 15 years now. So that's pretty cool too. But we'll just run down the matches from the DVD. Give what we thought about it. I haven't seen this DVD in probably 15 years.
I think I saw it
one
time 3 years ago, if I remember right.
Okay, so my memory is going to be a little sketchy, but I'm just going to work backwards from the way they have them listed. I don't know if that's actually how
it's from the bottom.
They failed. Yeah. The Hit Squad versus the Christopher Street Connection. What do you remember about that?
Hit Squad are two big bruisers. The Christopher Street Connection was doing the whole gay gimmick, which was really controversial at the time, and
they would even make out.
They kiss and everything.
Yeah, so.
And the Hit Squad killed them.
Yeah, I mean, it was a squash match. That's what I remember.
I think they got some hits, maybe, some punches.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I think they tried to kiss them or something. I don't remember, but I do remember like they came to the ring making out, and Hit Squad came and killed them.
Murdered them.
I think it was 6 or 7 minutes, but it was all a beating, you know.
Maybe.
So, but that was, I think that was like, wow, that was that. This is going to be different from what you normally see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was a packed crowd. I mean, if I remember correctly,
it's full house.
Like the Murphy Rec Center or something.
School gym, yeah.
And they had the cyclone fence guardrails.
Like I said, I thought they looked cool until we saw a match later on.
Yeah, where the guy dies.
Yeah, a couple of them.
The second match on here is the Amazing Red versus Jay Briscoe.
I do remember the match.
Yeah, I do too. I'm pretty sure I remember most of it.
And it's the first time you get to see the Jay Driller. Yeah. And Amazing Red kicked out of it.
I think at the time Mark was too young to be wrestling, at least there.
He was 17 and you had to be at least 18.
Yeah, and he came out to the ring or whatever and was like, Jay, why are you losing or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because that started the beginning of like a losing streak.
All right, but I mean, from what I remember, I thought the match was really good.
It was really good, yeah.
I know I became a fan of both guys, probably more Amazing Red than Jay Briscoe at the time. I can't remember, was he wearing the jumpsuit still? Because he was part of the Spanish announce team.
Well, you remember his suit was a little bit different than theirs because they had the full covered jumpsuit, but he had like a shirt or something.
No, he had his sleeves cut out.
No, his picture ain't on there. I thought it was on there, my bad.
Pictures, see.
Yeah. I ain't lost it.
I know he kept the sleeves cut out of his, but he also had he would take his off in singles.
Yeah, it was like a shirt or something.
Right, but he when he was with them as the SAT, he kept the jumpsuit on. I think that's what it was. Yeah. All right, what do you remember about Xavier versus Scoot Andrews, the Black Nature Boy, Scoot Andrews?
I know Xavier won, but I really don't remember much about the match.
I remember the whole comparison to AC Slater from Saved by the Bell with Xavier.
Yeah.
And like I say, Scoot Andrews was really good. He's a Florida guy, if I'm not mistaken.
He's one of the most swole up dudes there, wasn't he?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. So yeah, it was. I don't remember a whole bunch about the match itself.
It wasn't long.
But I do remember I was like, I'm actually, at least then, I was like, okay, hey, I can get behind this Xavier guy. So I like the things that he did. And then here's a match that neither one of us really remember, or at least remember the people in it.
No, I just didn't remember who were the tag teams.
Right. We remember the Natural Born Sinners, but we did not remember who the Boogie Knights were.
Exactly.
So, and Natural Born Sinners was Homicide and Boogaloo.
Yeah.
And then the Boogie Knights, I think, man, I really don't remember who they were. I looked them up, but I don't remember.
Honest to God, I don't.
But I think this was just basically another squash match, if I remember.
It was more
basically just to put over the Natural Born Sinners.
Yeah,
they came out with the convict suits and the mask and chainsaws and you know, all that kind of thing. And if I'm not mistaken, they hailed from like the Von Erich mansion in Texas.
It was something weird.
So yeah.
But I remember Boogaloo wound up blowing his shoulder out, and really he was only on like 2 shows.
Yep. So I don't think he was around for a while. Yeah. And I wonder what happened to Boogaloo. I want to try to find
Honest
that.
to God, I have no idea.
So I'm curious now. I'm about 100% sure the Natural Born Sinners won, and won in speedy fashion.
Yeah, pretty quick.
So,
because I remember there was a rubber chicken Homicide used and beat the hell out of him.
Yeah. So that leads us to the Ultimate Aerial Elimination match. Mm-hmm. And this was, I didn't realize Amazing Red worked twice.
Yeah.
But Amazing Red.
He won twice.
Joel Maximo, Jose Maximo, Quiet Storm, Chris Devine, and Brian Excel. Mm-hmm. It's funny because out of all those, I think 4 of those guys, the Maximos, and Amazing Red and Brian Excel were pretty much the Spanish announce team.
More or less, yeah. And they were really good friends in real life.
So, and then I know that Chris Devine and Quiet Storm ended up tagging as the Divine Storm. Mm-hmm. So, it's kind of weird to see them all just facing each other. But I don't remember things about this match, but I'm pretty sure it had a lot of dives, a lot of big spots. This was probably where the Tower of Doom was at least made popular and definitely ripped off from a bunch. Mm-hmm. So, if I'm not mistaken, I remember Brian XL doing like 3 DDTs or something. He would DDT roll through, roll through or something. So I always thought that was kind of cool.
But that was where they did the dive and it tore down that damn fence.
Yeah, when it caught the guardrail.
Because there was so many people out there, and when it hit, it was like all that body weight, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Bad cage match.
So brings us to next, which is basically the Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy guys, and it's Michael Shane and Oz versus Spanky and Akea Loa, Ika Loa. Akika Loa. I don't remember anything about Oz or Loa. I remember Spanky and Michael Shane, and I can't remember why I remember, because I don't remember if I had saw the UPW stuff before this, where I had saw Spanky out in California with Tom Howard, Samoa Joe, John Cena, those guys. So, but I wouldn't even know who won or lost, and
I don't remember.
I guess that's probably bad on our part for kind of almost doing a review, but it's more.
But it's a memory.
It's a what we remember, and we don't remember that match.
I really don't. I know it wasn't very long because you were leading into the 2 main events.
Yeah. All right. Your next match was the IWA Intercontinental Championship match. It was Super Crazy versus Eddie Guerrero, and I'm thinking Crazy was champion, if I remember. This was Eddie had been released from WWE for problems.
No, WCW.
Was it WCW?
I think so.
No, 2002
no,
it had to be WWE.
You're right.
So he was released, and I guess he was just trying to get his act straight and show him, hey, you're going to miss out on me.
Because I know he did like Ring of Honor and IWA Mid-South and a couple of other ones.
Just, I guess, trying to keep the ring rust off or whatever. I don't really remember that match. I remember it now that we're talking about it and seeing a picture of Eddie on the back. But I couldn't tell you who won or lost. I'm assuming probably the champion won.
I think Crazy retained.
So, which brings us to the main event: American Dragon versus Low Key versus Christopher Daniels.
Yep.
And I remember that match being like, wow, this is. I want to put on matches like this. Yep. So I don't know if I have yet to do that, but I've come really close.
I don't know if we've done
sure.
a 3-way like that yet.
So, but it was a brutal match. It was super stiff.
I remember Daniels sitting in the middle of the ring and taking kick by kick from Daniels, and Low Key like they were trading kicks.
Because his whole thing was he wouldn't do the code of honor, he wouldn't do the handshake, and you know, we didn't mention that, but that was the big thing about Ring of Honor is they had a code of honor, handshakes. You know,
they still do it somewhat.
Yeah, but they don't push it like they did. They would read the rules before every match, or at least before, you know, hey, we're going to remind you of the code of honor, that kind of thing. So I actually missed that part of it because I thought it set them apart, made them different. You know, so.
And that's where the CWC basically got that from the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yeah. So.
But they had more than 3-minute matches. So.
And you know, for those of you that may not know who American Dragon is,
Brian Daniels,
Daniel Bryan, whatever. Low key was Senshi in WWE.
Christopher Daniels always Christopher Daniels.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, I thought it showcased the fact that they're not going to be ECW, because essentially that's what Ring of Honor was supposed to be, was to replace ECW and RF videos or whatever.
If you look at it, there's really only one name on the whole card. The rest were just starting.
Yeah, well, I mean, Super Crazy, Eddie Guerrero. I'd say both of those names.
I meant one match with names is what I should have said.
Right. But in all honesty, I remember, and I don't know if it was this DVD or one of the ones right in the, you know, coming right after this, but they did a thing with Hit Squad like outside, and there was a crowd already lined up, and a lot of those people that was for Hit Squad. They were like, you know, Hit Squad's going to kill you and all that kind of stuff.
But like the area they were in, they were known.
Yeah, in that area, they were, you know, they were definitely like the hometown guys.
Even though this was the first DVD, this was not their first show. You know what I mean? They had shows before.
Ring of Honor hadn't, had they?
I was thinking they had
no,
some, but
I don't think so. I think this was the first show.
Okay, maybe that's right.
I think this was their debut.
But I'm just saying, in that area where the car was held,
a lot of those
they
guys
knew who
were
they
known,
were.
right.
Exactly. Like me and you had no idea who in the hell they were.
Yeah,
but,
so. But we're going to compare it to the car that Ring of Honor is putting out now. So, just right off the bat, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 8 matches that are here. Yeah. I know there's 6 matches advertised that I can find online for the 50th anniversary show. Adam Cole, the champion, Ring of Honor champion.
Baby.
He's taking on Christopher Daniels, which is cool that Christopher Daniels was the main event.
And he's never held the belt yet.
Yeah. Was the main event of the first card they put out. And now he's main event 15 years later. And even though he wasn't there, you know, the whole 15 years.
Yeah, he was sporadic.
I mean, he's always been a, you know, kind of a main event guy there. So I thought that was super cool. You've got Marty Scurll, who is the TV champion. He's taking on Leo Rush. So I think that's going to be a surprising match. I think it's probably going to be hard to beat, you know.
Yeah.
You got Young Bucks, who are the tag champions, taking on Roppongi Vice in a Las Vegas street fight. So I'm sure that's just going to be a lot of punches and super kicks and crazy spots and that kind of thing. Yeah.
And chairs and
match I'm looking forward to is Jay Lethal versus Bobby Fish. I think that again is a match that looks good on paper, but I think it's going to come off way better. So I'm excited for that.
Probably the wrestling match of the night.
Yeah, I agree with that. 6-man championships, the Kingdom. They are taking on Dalton Castle and the Boys. So
I've never seen the Boys wrestle.
The Boys are super good. I mean, they're twins. They wrestle as the Tate twins, and I think maybe they even had another name. They did some stuff with TCW, the traditional championship wrestling that Matt Riviera was doing. That's where I saw them at first. So I'm happy that the Boys they've put in work to get to where they're at. You know, so super cool of that. And then the Briscoes, we were talking about Jay and Mark almost kind of starting a feud there on the first show. They're tagging, and their opponents are to be announced.
There was an injury in Japan, one of the guys.
Yeah, I think they were supposed to face Killer Elite Squad.
I think he did much. He blew his ACL.
No, it's his back.
Was his back?
Yeah, it's supposed to. I think it's supposed to be Harry Smith and Lance Archer. And Lance is hurt. I think he's like haven't had back surgery or something. I know. I just saw this morning Andy Dalton is putting together a benefit for Lance. So check that out. You can find that. I mean, just Google benefit for Lance Archer. I'm sure you can find that out. I believe it's going to be in May at the school that Lance graduated from, or whatever, the high school in Texas. So super cool, and shout out to that for sure. But yeah, so
I ain't gonna tell who he might fight to.
no telling. So what's your thoughts on just the difference from what you got on the first show to what you're going to get 15 years later? What's your thoughts on that?
I guess the biggest difference would be now all these guys are known.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These guys weren't really known on the beginning.
I get
like
that.
I say, in the area, sure, but worldwide, no.
Right.
I mean, now they're known worldwide. Everybody on there is known worldwide.
Probably the least known guys are, I would say, the boys.
Yeah.
And Leo Rush.
Yeah. And he's getting out there.
Right. So, Young Bucks.
God, they're out there, beyond out there.
Yeah, they're way out there. Marty Scrolls out there. Cole, Daniels, Briscoes. Those guys have all made names for themselves. Jay Lethal, Bobby Fish. So it's surprising that, a lot of guys from the first were more of those northeastern indie guys for the most part. I mean, you got your Texas guys, you got a couple Florida guys, that kind of thing, but they were that northeast, where now a lot of these guys actually have found success overseas.
Yeah.
Marty Scrolls from overseas. The
Fish.
Bobby Fish, Roppongi Vice, the Young Bucks.
Briscoes were WGP tag champions.
Yes, I mean,
and Christopher Daniels.
I mean, he's just
under
world
a hood,
known. Curry Man, or at least rumor has it.
Yeah, rumor has
it.
So,
but I thought it was super cool that just the difference in the card. I don't think you're going to find 2 squash matches on the 15th anniversary card.
I don't see that.
And you got that on the first card. The pushing the envelope with Christopher Street Connection, I don't think you can do that. Although you do have...
If you can do it, you're just going to get a little controversy behind it.
Well, you're going to, that offends me, that hurts my feelings, or making fun of,
security spot.
Right, so I need my safe zone. So you'll get a lot of, just people that want to be offended over to be offended,
Just anything.
So, and sorry if we offend you. Safe places back here in the back seat, or in the trunk. Yeah. So
out of my car. How about that?
What do you know about the Kingdom, the new Kingdom?
I don't.
It was originally Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and Adam Cole, right?
That's 100, yeah.
But I so now it's Matt Taven is kind of the leader.
Is it? Okay.
And I was writing down, it's Orion and a guy like he does like Ink Sanity or something. I can't remember. It's Vinny something. I can't remember his name. So
I catch ROH every once in a while. I don't get it as much as I'd like to.
Yeah. It's kind of once you get older, you fall out of just blowing your money on DVDs, So.
Well, it's just like they don't come on a channel around here anymore. They did, and then they stopped. So.
Right. So. But yeah, that's just kind of been our thoughts on the first anniversary show, kind of our thoughts on the 15th anniversary, and yeah, that's what I got.
I'm gonna definitely see it.
You got anything else?
No, not right now. Just look forward to watching this. I know it's in a few weeks.
Right. So, we probably should have wrote the date down. I think it's March 10th, maybe.
Yeah, I know it's in March.
It's like that second weekend in March.
Just look on Ring of Honor 15th anniversary.
Right. Yeah, you'll find it. March this weekend, March 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Pro Wrestling Egos in Hattiesburg.
Yep.
March 11th, we're back in Byram, and then April 29th, we debut in Bruce, Mississippi. So we're going back to North Mississippi. So
that's going to be something unique right there.
Well, we actually got a couple new guys coming in.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Joe Black. He just did a stint in Ring of Honor. He just did John Schuyler, Corey Hollis worked the Kingdom for the 6-man championship. So we're excited to have him in. He's going to be going against current Pride champion Joey Abel. Cool. So really looking forward to that. We got to have Trevor Ayon coming back.
I like Trevor.
Cool. Trevor's a really good dude. Marco Stunt will be coming back. This will be Marco's second booking at Pro Wrestling Ego, and if you haven't seen Marco, he's definitely a unique character. So go check him out. I look forward to seeing him in Pro Wrestling Ego at least a few more times in the future. I think he's got a great upswing as long as he kind of keeps his head right.
Okay.
So,
I wanted to ask you about this real quick while we got it on. But what do you think about Mike Carter getting his little WWE tryout?
that's right. Mike Carter, he's basically a Mississippi guy for the most part. He's getting two tryout matches with WWE, so we're excited for that. We haven't really spread that around as much as we probably should.
to think about it, honestly.
So, congrats to Mike. If you're not a fan of Mike Carter, you should check his stuff out. Son of Junkyard Dog, so second generation. So, I'm sure that as long as he performs well, I could see things at least.
And he could, I promise.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that them giving him a shot. So, I mean, so let's just root for Mike. Ego born and bred kind of. So
I hope he pulls it off.
Yeah, so hey Mike, when you get signed, send us some WrestleMania tickets. That'd be great. Yeah.
I'll even take SummerSlam or Royal Rumble or Survivor Series.
I'll take whatever pay-per-view that they give away the most tickets to. I'll take.
I think that's WrestleMania.
I'll take Backlash or Fastlane or Roadblock or whatever. But all jokes aside, congrats to Mike Carter. So
I really mean it.
We at Ego is rooting for him. So shout out to Dark Fury or King Fury and Bootboy Bubba for doing the Bulletproof Dojo with Luke Gallows and Joey Mercury. I did. I talked to them last night. Said it was super good. They're, like, more knowledge than they're probably going to be able to retain. But
carry a pad and write shit
yeah,
down.
they were having a blast. So shout out to them. They're going to be on the road for 5 or 6 days straight with the camp, and then the shows in Alabama and shows in Harrisburg. So
they're gonna be sore Monday.
Yeah, they're gonna regret this afterwards. So shout out to them. Check us out, Pro Wrestling Ego on Break, Life in a Headlock, 10 Questions of Doom. Live events coming up everywhere. Yeah, so hashtag We Are Everywhere, 2Geek, Pro Wrestling Ego, Egomaniacs, and anything else you want to hashtag. So hey, thanks for watching, guys.